As you become more experienced in Photoshop, you'll find that you'll use different groups of panels for performing different tasks, and it may be helpful to customize the panel locations and save them specifically for that task. So if you want to explore different options, Photoshop ships with several different workspaces or kind of presets of different panel locations. For example, if I was going to be using the painting tools, I might want to select that set of panels to display. Or if I was doing more graphic design, I might choose graphic and web. For now, I'll return to Essentials, but personally, I find that having panels on the left side of my screen is actually far more efficient because it's closer to the tools and the menus and the options in the options bar. So what I would typically do is I would grab the panels that I use most often, say for example the Layers panel, and I would dock that over to the toolbar. I also use the Paths panel quite often, so I will go ahead and dock that right above the Layers panel. And I use Channels as well, so I'll add that to Paths. The Properties panel is very important to me, so I will drag that, but I'm actually going to add it to the bottom of the Layers panel. And that way, when I do something like add an adjustment layer, my cursor will be right there over the properties so I can start making changes. All right, I'm also going to add libraries to my Paths and Channels. I'll go ahead and right-click or control-click and close my adjustments. And I'll close this entire tab group as well. And finally, just drag the history to dock it with my Layers panel. Now I'll make sure that the Layers panel is on top, and I'll double click to collapse this top group of layers, making it rather small. So now I have primarily my Paths, Channels, and Libraries, Layer and History, and Properties. As soon as you get these set up the way you want them, use the Workspace Picker here to create a new workspace. I'll just call it JK Panels on Right. And you can capture not only where your panels are, but also any custom keyboard shortcuts or menus or the toolbar settings. But for now, I'll just leave it as is and click Save. Now let's select Essentials from the Workspace Picker, but you can see that nothing happens. My panels are still on the left-hand side, and that's because it remembers the last state that that group of panels was in. So if I want to reset it, I'll just choose Reset Essentials. If I ever wanted to delete a workspace, you want to make sure that the workspace that you want to select is not the active one, and then you could choose to delete a workspace. For now, I'm going to leave this set to Essentials, but from now on throughout the course, I'm actually going to be hiding many of the panels that we're not using so that we can focus on the ones that are more relevant to the features that we're discussing. So as you can see, Photoshop makes it very easy to customize and switch between the different workspaces and between different panel layouts, depending on the tools that you're using and the tasks that you're trying to accomplish.